What's going on, Boulder?
Glad to be back. We never start recruiting, so I haven't left doing that. We have some wonderful, phenomenal young men up here that we want to join this magnificent team.
Now, Coach Prime wasn't lying when he was talking about that talent coming in, some phenomenal young men coming to the Buffs. And so we've got some great stories to talk about here today, here on the Prime Time for College Football, especially because FanDuel has dropped the odds on quarterbacks for the Heisman. Our partners over at BetUS dropped theirs as well. And we think the next Heisman out of Colorado has already been dubbed on there. So let's dive into that. Before we do that, shout out to our partners over there at BetUS. They're hooking up the gamers. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. So the early odds are out for the Heisman. FanDuel also dropped who their top 10 quarterbacks are. And one big name has been jumping out all over the place. Probably one that's going to surprise you, but we're going to point them out. Jump right into it. Kaden Salter. Yes, sir. Kaden Salter is considered one of the players when it comes to top guys coming to next season. So FanDuel dropped this graphic. They're way too early. Top 10 QBs in college football next season. And Salter's landed here at number 10. And ESPN also ranked the top quarterback transfers out there and where they felt like they fit the best. And of course, Kaden Salter got some love as well there. So first off, FanDuel has Salter here at number 10, right behind Dylan Raiola, Carson Beck, Cade Klubnik, Lenore Sellers, Nico Yamaliava, Drew Aller, DJ Lagway, Arch Manning, as well as Garrett Nussmeier. Kind of interesting, right? But it makes sense for a quarterback of the caliber of Kaden Salter coming in. 5,000 pass, 5,800 yards passing his career, almost 6,000 passing yards and 56 touchdowns to go along with his 2,000 rushing yards and 21 touchdowns. He's definitely a player that should be considered for a lot of that stuff. And we've talked about Kaden Salter here and how excited we are about what he's going to bring to the table for the Buffs. But bringing that leadership and someone that's had 4 years of experience playing ball. I mean, he was a Tennessee recruit, transferred to Liberty, showed out at Liberty, and now he gets to finish his career as the next guy that replaces, Shedeur Sanders. So it's going to be interesting to see if Salters is ready for the challenge. I think Kaden can handle it. I don't think that there's any concerns there because his last 3 years there at Liberty showed that he was ready to lead the team. And so you got that piece there, and FanDuel thinks that he's going to end up one of the top quarterbacks, at least here in the preseason. Me personally, I still see Kaden winning the quarterback battle initially against Julian Lewis, but I think Juju's got a chance of being able to really grow underneath playing with Kaden Salter. I mean, games are almost similar. The big thing with Kaden is he's a big-time runner. Again, he's rushed for 2,000 yards there at Liberty. And so I think he's going to bring that dual threat capabilities at Colorado in comparison. But he's also got some zip. Some of his teammates have talked about it as they've been working out over this past week. And you saw some players say, hey, man, K-Saw can zip that thing. And so because of that, we're expecting some big stuff out of him. And then you've got the Heisman odds that came down. Shout out to our partners over there at BetUS. They're hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. 125% bonus on your second and third deposits by using promo code YouTube150. And as you can see, we've got Heisman odds here for Kaden Salter. He's actually coming in here at plus 2,500. So he's ranked in the top 10 for the Heisman already in the futures odds. And so that tells me that Vegas is keeping an eye on him. They've seen the talent that he had at Liberty. I mean, he rushed for 1,000 yards, threw for another, just about 3,000 yards at Liberty. If he can pull that off again at Colorado, he's guaranteed to be headed to New York. And so if you want to get on the action, BetUS has got you. They're going to hook you up. 150% bonus on your first deposit of $2,000. 125% bonus on your second and third by using promo code YouTube150. BetUS, where the game begins. And so you see Kaden is on the early odds. Everybody's dropping the early Heisman odds, and Caden's been roughly at about the 25-1 range. A range that, that's a lot of respect for a guy that's transferring in, and he was considered one of the top. So ESPN dropped their top. They ranked the best fits for committed transfer quarterbacks not too long ago, probably about a week ago or so, from Tom Luginbill. And number 4 on that list was Kaden Salter. And this is what was said. 6'1", 200-pounder. This is a terrific gap player for Colorado. Fits between outgoing starter Shedeur Sanders and highly touted incoming freshman Julian Lewis. Salter is another version of SMU's Kevin Jennings, and Kevin Jennings is really good in many ways. Salter is crafty, makes a ton of plays off platform, and can make things happen on the move. He can be incredibly accurate on tight window throws down the middle of the field. I'll be interesting to see how Pat Shurmur adjusts his offensive attack to play in Salter's strengths as a runner and improviser, because that's the one thing about him. Shurmur has shown the ability to adapt to his QB's strength, so we like the potential. The senior will avoid more sacks than Sanders and be efficient in getting the ball into the hands of Buffalo's talented young receiver corps. There you go. So you've got that good gap quarterback situation with Kaden Salter, and that's the thing that gets me excited about him, because I think that he can fill that in and getting Julian Lewis kind of accustomed to the speed at, this level. Especially with the Big 12, they got some pretty solid defenses, man. Colorado's shown that they've been one of them, but other teams, the defenses ain't bad. So you got to be able to adjust and be prepared for that, especially if you're pushing for a playoff berth. And that's the good thing for Julian Lewis, because the last thing we'll wrap up on is that Rivals wrapped up their top, their final 5 stars. And on that list, you know who it was. Julian Lewis was ranked number 10 out of the 5 stars on there. And so when Rivals dropped that, he had stuff to say. We're pretty excited to see that Juju finished out as one of the top 5 stars in the country. And so, look, Colorado, the future is bright. That countdown was pretty cool just to see that, you got Juju Lewis on there. I don't think that, my expectation is that he's going to show out. And as long as he shows out, we ain't worried about it. But he made the list. He is a 5-star on Rivals. And now we get to see him as a Buff. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts. All right, we're going to wrap this up, put a bow on it. We'll drop another video. A legend had some things to say about Coach Prime. So make sure you hit that subscribe button up there and bell notification. Watch the last video. My guy TJ, we talked about some things around Prime and the NFL. I don't think it's going to happen, but make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, join the family, and we'll drop a video on that probably tomorrow sometime so that you can see what this legend had to say about Coach Prime. We'll talk soon.